recording. I'm assuming that you can hear me since you just typed in hello. So we'll just go over a couple of items today, and then if you got any questions on stuff, that I'll answer those. This is the first time we are using this book right there. And that we're using Server 2016 in this course. Previously, we used 2012 in the course. So hold on a second. My wire is laying across the screen right where I was looking. Now I guess I cut off the top of my head. Okay. I'm having to completely develop the course as we go. I've got the first 2 weeks of material out there at this point. In this class, I've got a little bit more, but like the assignments are not all there yet. I think in this class, I've only got through this week. Yeah. So I'm working on that. I'm also trying to answer questions from students as they've run into problems. The Server 2016 is available at Azure Dev Tools for Teaching. That's confusing to try to say. They give you a key with it, but I'm not sure how many machines the key will work on. And obviously in this class, you need 5 different machines. To start with, to do Chapter 1, you need it SA1. Chapter 2, they have you go through and do Server Hyper-V. Now, they're showing you how to do it using Hyper-V. However, I've got y'all preferably using VirtualBox, but you can use Hyper-V. Hyper-V is available from Azure Dev Tools for Teaching, free out there. I have not used Hyper-V. I would like to try to, but I'm not sure when I'll have a chance to do that. This has been keeping me rather busy. So you can do it also following their steps. Do it in VirtualBox. Just realize when they tell you to do something in Hyper-V, the command, the way you do it in VirtualBox may be slightly different, but you've already gone through and installed SA1, Server SA1, using my instructions in VirtualBox, so you should be able to convert pretty easily on that. Again, I would like to go through and get that assignment done, but I haven't had a chance to. Because I'm trying to get everything out there. I think all the PowerPoints are out there at this point now in this class. I think I got that done. I think the practice test may be all there. The test are mostly there, but you can't tell that because all you can see is just the tests that are actually active for you. So tests that I set up for the future, you can't see that yet. On installing and setting up Server 2016, there are a few people have run into a problem of connecting to the domain, and I think I actually solved that this morning. That I think it's the fact that they did not have all of their machines activated. The machines were not both activated of DC1 and then DM1 and DM2. SA1 doesn't connect to the domain, so that doesn't make any difference. Server Hyper-V does not connect to the domain either, so that one there's not an issue on either. But if you go to activate and it says the key's already been used, all you need to do is contact me and I'll send you another key. They should be usable on a number of machines, but I don't know how many. Microsoft doesn't tell me that. And the previous versions of Server, they worked on 4, 5, 6, something. machines. It varies by the release and the product of how many machines Microsoft or any other manufacturer lets you use a key on. In some cases, on some stuff, it only will work on one machine for you. Now, I'll give you this other piece of information too. If you do have a key, and this goes for when you get out of class, because I can get you additional key in here. And then you're out working somewhere and their machine gets wiped out and then they go to install again. And it says that the key's already been used. And this, I've done this several times. That one of the options it gives you is that if you already got a key, call them. And it gives you a number to call. Surprisingly, every time I've called that number, I did not have any wait time until I was talking to a human. And as long as you told them what your key was before, that you had on a different machine and that you're not using it on that machine any longer, they will actually go in, clear it out of the database from being used on the previous machine, and that frees it up to be able to use on the new machine. So if you're moving from machine to machine and you're not going to use it on the old machine anymore, you can actually do that. Sometimes they'll move without a problem. Sometimes you do have to call them and get them to free it. But like I say, Microsoft on that one has been really good, my experience, and I've called them several times over a number of years. And it's always been quick and efficient. So be aware on that. This week we are doing this session today. Next week we'll definitely do it on Tuesday because Monday is Memorial Day and it's a holiday. I did answer students' questions all weekend. I was online on and off Thursday. I was actually out on sick leave all day Thursday, but I've still worked answering all kinds of stuff. Friday I was on annual leave, because that was associated with the sick leave on Thursday, but I still worked 5 hours that day, or 6 hours that day, 5 hours that day I guess it was, and answered and updated courses and got more stuff done. Saturday I worked similar. Saturday is not a work day for the college, and yesterday I worked 2 hours answering emails from students early in the afternoon and then late last evening. And then I've been online working on stuff since 5 till 8 this morning. And now with these collaborate sessions on Mondays are going to be a little bit more tricky always. I will get all emails answered every week on that day, but as far as how much more I can do on those days will be rather limited because I got 4 hours scheduled of collaborate sessions. Besides that, the Chattanooga Engineers Club has their meetings usually on Monday, which are a lot of them are interesting to me, and it's at noon, and that's where I scheduled around on that, but that means I get no lunch. So actually my lunch today will probably be between my potato chips and my pecan twirls and my Coke that I've got here. But that was the best I could do. So next week we know we'll go to Tuesday. July the 4th week, which actually starts on Monday, July the 5th, which will be a holiday. I know we'll go to Tuesday that week also for these. And then there's another 2 weeks in here that I'm not exactly sure what's happening yet or how I'm going to work with it. As I've got a meeting I've got to go to in Salt Lake City. And I'm planning to drive out there at this point, which will take me about 3 days to get there, 1,700 miles from here. Unless I can find, I got told Saturday night of someone told me I could get a ticket for Southwestern Airlines for $50 out there. Well, if I could do that, I would fly. I'm not real enthused on all the bit of waiting through security, etc., but I would do that. However, when I looked out there, $360 was as cheap as they went, and I went, no, never mind that. So I may glance again to see if I see something else pop up, because I'm not concrete at this point on which way I go. So that's the big things. Chapter 1 was having an overview of server. I disagree with him on his order of chapters right there. I would prefer that be chapter 2 and that chapter 2 come first when they have you install server. He's worked off the assumption that's being done in the classroom and that the instructor already has installed it, and so you'll play with it, but then you got to turn around and do the installation and on it. And actually I showed you the wrong book because that's not 2412, that's 2414. I don't know why I misread that. This is the correct book. This is 2412. So this is the book you should have with, looks like a picture of the sun maybe in the middle of it, and it's the installation book. I showed you 2414, which is identity with it. Any questions for me then? Because I just talked 10 minutes solid. Still, okay. Because we'll continue to do, since you've already been in my class before, Matt, is we'll work just like we've worked before. My normal end of the week of due dates are Mondays, so week 1 is due today. And if, since you're listening to this live, that you don't have to do the discussion this week. Last week, we did not have a live collaborate session, so you had to do the discussion. So I'll be getting stuff hopefully on setup through this week. This is only an 8-week semester, so what the speed that we normally go at in spring and fall is we're going twice as fast in here. So basically here in the summer session, you're going to complete in 1 week what you would normally complete in spring and fall in 2 weeks. So we'll cover everything that we have covered. So that's about it. Any comments on getting started? Any problems? Any of that? As these sessions, they run an hour sometimes. Sometimes they're only 15 minutes or so. Looks like today's is only about 15 minutes. It depends on how many students are in here too. It is being recorded, so some of what I'm saying is directed towards the people listening on the recording. And the recording does not count in place of the discussion. You have to do the live one in place of it. I did my best I could on setting up the schedule form around what the requests were, but as opposed to last semester, I had people telling me they wanted different classes, different people telling me they wanted different classes at the same time, same day. And the more I looked at it, and there was no way I could do for everybody. Last semester was an amazing exception that every request I had turned in, I was able to meet every request and how I set up the schedule. I went ahead and set them all up on Monday. That just seemed to work a little bit better on it, and with the fact that we've got to jump them around as we go along, and that we know at least twice in the 8 weeks we're going to have to move to Tuesday due to the holidays. So during this semester, you've got 2 school holidays on Mondays, that being this coming Monday, Memorial Day. So next Monday we won't meet. We'll meet on Tuesday at 10 a.m. And then July the 4th falls on Saturday. So July the 6th, I think I got that right. Let me make sure. Correction, July the 4th falls on Sunday, so July the 5th is a holiday for the school that we're closed, and that'll be a national holiday that day. So we hit 2 of those, and then the following week we'll finish up. So the 13th is the last day of class, 14th will be your final exams. And I'm not sure, but that week I think I know I'm taking an online class about Azure somewhere, either that week or the following week, and I'm not sure which one. Normally I go to Texas to take that class, to Frisco, Texas. I wish that was in person this year, but unfortunately it's not due to the pandemic. I have had both vaccines for me, and so I won't be able to do that. But they're doing the class online. They've also got the class Jacksonville, where I usually go to Jacksonville, Florida in June for a week for training. I'd love to do that training that week, but I'm also supposed to be at a Kiwanis convention in Salt Lake City for part of that week, and I have to be in the class every day, and I got to get to Salt Lake City also. So I'm not going to be able to do that training, which would have actually been on server 2019, if I remember. Yeah, on server 2019. Which I would have loved to have done, because I'm on the task force for the state of trying to figure out what we're going to do with 2019, because the whole ball game changes. Certifications change to being, quote, job oriented, so they don't have MCSA, MCSE anymore, and trying to figure it all out, and that works around with Azure. I'm also taking a class on AWS this semester. I'm actually 2 weeks behind on it right at the moment, and I got to get caught up on that in the next day or so. And then I'm taking a Server Plus, which my CompTIA has finally decided to upgrade. Train the Trainer class that actually starts tomorrow afternoon. And I'm going to have to watch that one on recording tomorrow afternoon. That will run for the next 3 weeks, I think. 2 afternoons a week, for 3 weeks, I believe it is. And then I'll go take the new Server Plus test, which I haven't taken Server Plus since like 2002, I think. And I've never gone back to taking that one again. And they've hardly updated it. So it will be a busy time for me. But I'll try to keep up with everything, and that I'll try to start grading on assignments and stuff probably tomorrow, although I got something else going on tomorrow afternoon that collides with that Server Plus class also. So it'll be interesting to see. So do keep reading the announcements out there. I added an announcement just before this class this morning about the activation may well be the issue some people are having with domain issues. I also added it into chapter 1 so that it'll still be there next time I teach the class to remember what it was. Because in looking for the keys, where some people want keys, all of a sudden I saw some emails from last semester that clicked in my mind of, wait a minute, we had domain issues there. So I just didn't remember on it, and it wasn't recorded somewhere else. But I had a problem with the keys for a little bit this morning too. I thought I already had them downloaded, but apparently I did not. So I had to get them, and then I started issuing. But again, if you need a key, if it tells you you've run out of uses of the key, simply send me an email and I'll send you another key for Server 2016. And these keys are actually from Azure Dev Tools for Teaching. They're not off that site, but that actually runs off of MSDN. And that's actually the student interface to MSDN. And I get to go into regular MSDN, and I can get all kinds of stuff. If there's some older Microsoft software you want, I can actually get you a copy of it for your personal use. And remember, anything you pull down from Azure Dev Tools for Teaching does not expire in a few months or whatever. You've actually got a lifetime license on it. So you may well want to keep the downloaded file and the key, because again, if you run into an issue later about the key, you can call Microsoft and get them to deactivate your old machines and then allow you to put it on another machine. That actually is a lifetime usage. All right, given all of that, I am going to wrap it up. We've been 20 minutes, and I'm going to stop the recording.